Hello, welcome to the weekly series of the 1 year with the Ramchal. And now we are in the parasha of Miketz. ויאמר פרעה אל יוסף אחרי הודיע לכם אותך את כל זאת עין נבון וחכם כמוך. And hear it in English. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for much, just a second, as God had shown through all this, there is none so discreet and wise as you. So we encounter Pharaoh's famous dream, in which basically Joseph interprets that after 7 years of plenty, the 7 years of famine will follow. For this we learn period that Joseph proposed his plan basically to store large quantities of grain and crops in these storehouses, ensuring a provision for the time of the need. Pharaoh characterized Joseph with the following words. Eternal has granted wisdom and the ability to interpret dreams to Joseph. According to the sages, only the wise can receive such knowledge. According to the Pirkei Avot, and it is, we have it in here that אל תסתכל, in the Pirkei Avot, אל תסתכל בקנקן אלא במה שיש בו. Don't look at the jar but what's in it. In this case, the young boy may be such wiser than others, and Joseph had a special connection with the Creator. So he himself is becoming the Sephira of Yesod, how the Mishnah states. It continues, יש קנקן חדש, מה לא ישן, וישן ואפילו חדש שאין בו. Don't look at the pitcher, but what's inside. And there is a new pitcher filled with wine, and there is an old antique pitcher with there isn't even new wine. So what the interpretation is, that the young soul can be wise, and the old one can lack wisdom as well. Pharaoh saw that if the divine granted to Joseph the wisdom to interpret what his professional dream interpreters couldn't do it, then Joseph must be truly wise and have the knowledge with a strong connection with the Creator, that the Creator is supporting him. We can see all this expressed in the phrase kol zot, all this, where kol represents this male aspect of the Chokhmah, and the Zot represents the female aspect of Binah. So with Joseph, both the male and the female aspects were in a balanced way. So Yesod is the male and the Mahut is the female Sephira. So Joseph is precisely connected to all these. ויאמר פרעה אל יוסף, אחרי הודיע אלוקים אותך את כל זאת, אין נבון וחכם כמוך. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God had shown thee all these, there is none so discreet and wise as you. Okay, so this sentence that I read you before. Now you have a deeper understanding. The root of Hodia, okay, it is the Yeda, the knowledge. Yud Dalet Ayin. The word is used when discussing the physical relationship or attraction of the first human couple. והאדם ידע את חווה אשתו וטהר ותילד את קין ותאמר קניתי איש את השם. And the man knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain and said, I have gotten a man with the help of God. So how did Pharaoh knew all this, what Joseph represents, and why did he use these words? It wasn't because Pharaoh knew spirituality, but there was an intervention through an angel that is conveyed through Pharaoh's body. So this is the reason he said those following words. ויקרא פרעה את שם יוסף צפנת פניה, ויתן לו את אסנת בת פוטיפרה, כהן און, לאישה, ויוצא יוסף על ארץ מצרים. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name צפנת פניה, and he gave him to wife Osnat, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, and Joseph went on over the land of Egypt. So why did Pharaoh want to change Joseph's name? So Joseph had a previous being a slave, and Pharaoh wished to separate him from that identity. So he didn't want anyone to think that any ordinary slave basically could attain such a high rank as Joseph became, and also fear basically potentially as getting in a rebellious action. So consider the many Egyptian slaves who had no rights and or establish a hierarchy whereby Pharaoh that he is basically the son of God and he rules over everything. So therefore he is preferring to changing a name. So in that way Joseph is becoming a brand new person. So we have learned that if a name change occurs, our destiny can also be changed. There is a connection between the name and the destiny also in this case. And later on, Joseph's brothers are likely to come to Egypt due to the famine. And everyone in the region knew that Egypt could survive the famine, while others might face a problem of starvation. So it would have been so much easier for Jacob and his sons if they knew about this viceroy named Joseph. They might have immediately would have been realized that it could be their lost brother. But in this case, and since Joseph having the name change, couldn't have carried out these tests that all that later on is going on with Benjamin, where he's confirmed how much his brother's hearts had changed since the incident with the well. Okay, what happened with him, all the story started. Okay, so it's becoming a crucial part that we're having a name change here. Furthermore, Joseph's earlier dream of his brothers bowing down to him wouldn't have come true if they hadn't recognized each other immediately and embraced. The importance of the spiritual scene could have been missed. Okay, so therefore, it's a name change. It's very important, and Joseph had to remain hidden and appear under the new name that is related to his high rank, just like another name, Tzafnat Panea. And basically the numerical value of Tzafnat corresponds to Keter. And Panea corresponds to Kotkot, the head. So Joseph was the head of Pharaoh's kingdom's crown, okay? That previously Jacob blessed his beloved son with these words. Pay attention to the following words that Jacob is saying. ברכות אביך גברו על ברכות הוריי, עד תאווה גבעות עולם, תוכן לראש יוסף ולקודקוד נזיר אחיו. The blessing of the father are mighty beyond the blessing of my progenies unto the utmost band of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph and on the crown of the head of the prince among his brethren. So the root of the Hebrew word of Nazir is Nezer. So and this is related to the meaning of the crown, just like the Keter, especially referring for a person who is sacred and committed to this commitment of sacred commitment, and chooses to temporarily or permanently abstain from certain things, such as alcohol, haircuts, or other like worldly pleasures. So the Nazir, okay, is having this. This is his decision, and therefore they are more connected to the holiness and devoted, having more connection with the Creator. So the root of Nazir is concept the idea of superior and the crown. Okay, and also previously we have a word called kod that is being a tab. ויאמר פרעה אל יוסף, אני פרעה ובלעדיך לא ירים איש את ידו ואת רגלו בכל הארץ מצרים. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thou shall no man lift up his hands or his foot in all the land of Egypt. So why it is necessary for Pharaoh to mention that he is Pharaoh? So basically everyone knows that. This is kind of a repetition serving as a reinforcement to conveying a specific message. So what is that? Pharaoh believes that by emphasizing his position towards Joseph, he is asserting his authority. He essentially says, do not forget, I'm the boss, I'm Pharaoh, I'm ruling, I'm the number one. And never forget, it is I who I bestowed upon you this rank, that you will be the number two, the viceroy of Egypt. So Pharaoh remains the physical king in this tangible reality and adorning the crown on his head. However, in the hidden spiritual realm, which only few can perceive, Joseph is becoming the king. This is why he's given the name Tzafnat, meaning a hidden crown. So Onkelos, one of the commentators, explains that Joseph is a person through whom hidden things are going to be revealed. So the entire scenario could not have been unfolded as it did, with Joseph utilizing his special abilities to become a person he was designated to be, if the Eternal had not assigned in bringing it all um, um, to manifest. ויקרא פרעה שם יוסף צפנת פניה, ויתן לו את אסנת בת פוטיפר, פרעה כהן און לאישה, ויצא יוסף על ארץ מצרים. This is a sentence I already also read to you. However, for the Yesod to reach its perfect state, it requires a feminine aspect. So therefore, Joseph needs a wife that's becoming Osnat. This is the soulmate. So Pharaoh adds his daughter to him, and the two sons, the two tribes, Ephraim and Manasseh, were going to be born out of it. ויאמר אל אחיו, הושב כספי וגם הנה באמתחתי ויוצא ליבם ויחרדו איש אל אחיו לומר מה זאת עשה אלוקים לנו. And he said unto the brethren, my money is restored, and lo, it is not given in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they returned trembling one to another, saying, what is this God that had done unto us? This was the brothers' reaction, okay, this sentence, when they opened their sack, and their courage failed them, so their heart sank. So the value in the Hebrew text, we had libam, their hearts, it is 72. So the same as chesed, kindness, okay, because chet is 8, samech is 60, and dalet is 4. So the brothers thought that the kindness, the chesed, had disappeared from the word, okay, and judgment had taken the place. Therefore they said into each other, Ma zot asa Elokim lanu. What is this that God had done to us? What is God that does? This is what they are asking. So they assume that everyone, honest and straightforward person, they couldn't understand how they had been deceived. So they questioned whether divine providence, Hashgacha Pratit, no longer is covering them, feeling that the fate was unfair and they were forced to lose another brother. Okay, this is what happening later on in the story. How could this be? It is not a just. As it in later on, so the honestly confesses that they didn't know how foreign objects had ended up in their sacks, and they had no intention of stealing. Okay, so this is how the story continued. So Jacob had a connection with the divine, and how did his sons end up in such a situation like this? So their hearts, like their brothers, serve ties with the higher realms due to the worry. And according to the sages, the connection, it is only possible when we are happy. Okay, otherwise we have sold out our souls to the adversary, to the opponent. So fear is also a sign of judgment. So we discussed how Din replaced and the Chesed over here To this the brothers inquire, what is that God had done unto us? They didn't understand that they were completely consumed by the worrying, okay, creating this impossible situation. Consequently, they fell into the judgment due to their own actions. What we can learn out of this, that fear and worry and are poor, this is taking away us from the real path, and this is belonging to the opponent. So it's never going to be a good way to continue. And this is what we have to eliminate from our lives altogether, okay? So we have to open up to more possibilities, and without these, no fear and no worrying, we just go ahead and looking for other solutions. So that's what's for today. And thank you for your attention, and see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.